Hello everybody, I am Over Easy Evan, and today marks the first episode of my Banished playthrough. I decided to switch things up from what I normally do on my Twitch stream, which is, I would say it's a very highly interactive, chat-based, interacting with everybody and talking stream, whereas it's not as much focused on gameplay, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do here on YouTube, is do some more gameplay-focused videos and sort of have a series of sorts. And Banished is a game that I really wanted to go back to. I saw it in my library, and I really wanted to play some sort of colony builder, town builder type game. And Banished was a great one that I used to play back a few years ago. I never played too much of it, and it's something I always wanted to check out again. So we're back, and we're going to go ahead and play through a Banished save. So I'm going to go ahead and click a new save. Town name, we gotta do something egg themed, I think. Egg-Cartington is our town name. Actually, Egg-Cartington, there we go. Map seed shouldn't matter too much. Terrain type, we're gonna stick with valleys. Terrain size, I think medium is good. We're going to stick with everything sort of medium settings. So let's go ahead and start. So keep in mind as we're going through that I have played this before, so I am familiar with certain things. Go ahead and pause. But I'm also not extremely experienced. Not nearly extremely experienced. So there might be a little bit of me learning as we go, but there are certain things that I do remember and will be able to kind of know that a beginner might not. So hopefully if you're watching this you want to learn some things, you will be able to pick some things up, but if not, maybe you can teach me some things in the comments. So this is our area, and what I'm going to do first I paused it, and the next thing I'm going to do is open up these menus. So we have one menu here. This is kind of your overall your town and some information on it. I'll go over that more in a second. Another thing that I want to open up here is the event log. I find this to be very important to have. Kind of tells you what's going on if anything important happens. And then also we have the map. So early on, I don't find the map to be too important. And the reason that is because we're going to be really just in this area, at least for the first couple seasons, maybe branching off down here or a little bit further away, but we're not going to be over here. We're not going to be down in this corner for a while. So I think we can turn the map off for now. This is an important one. This is our list of professions. So as this is a colony builder, it is also a colony management game, and you're going to have to manage the professions of all of your colonists. Now, you'll see right now they all have houses over their head. We'll talk about that in a second. But each citizen has a job. As long as they are an adult, which I believe in Banished is over 10 years old. Yep, so we see a 12-year-old here. They are able to have a job because they're considered an adult in-game. But we have a 6-year-old Harlow here who's a child. So they have the ability to be educated. Right now we probably don't have any teachers, but they also won't have a profession because they're a child. Everyone who is an adult will have a profession. So that brings us back to this top menu here. We have our town, Egg-Cartington. We have 17 citizens without homes, which we will fix in a minute. We have the season here. It's early spring. And then we have our number of adults, students, and children. So we have no teachers, obviously no students. We have 10 adults, and that number there will correspond here in the professions. Right now, everyone's a laborer, but we can fix that later on. We also have 7 children, and as time passes, they will obviously become adults, and then you'll have more colonists that are able to work for you or have professions. The rest of this is kind of just materials. So you do start in the storage barn. You start with 30 hide coats, 40 iron tools, and 1,800 potatoes. That might seem like a lot, but I can tell you from experience, you will burn through that fairly quickly. Looking over here, we have our stockpile. And again, you start with a small amount of materials, but it's something that is probably going to go away very quickly. We have 120 logs, 40 iron, 60 stone, and 200 firewood. We're going to be building some houses to get these people homes right away, so we will burn through this quickly. Excuse me. So one thing that we will need to do right away is we will need to harvest some materials. We can click on this, remove resources. And this iron, I don't necessarily want iron right away, but I want to get this out of the way. This stuff here too. We want to get some wood. That's a good start. I think we can try building houses here. Something like this. This is a decent area if we can get some of this iron out. This is a nice area. We want the storage barn and the stockpile to be sort of centralized because people will be going in and out of there, dropping off materials, picking up materials to build more things. So we kind of want that to be centralized. If our town is up here and our storage barn is here, it wouldn't really make sense. Everybody would have to go all the way here and then all the way back. But if they can just kind of hop out of their house, grab something, and then go to where they need to go, that would be nice. One thing I'm noticing right here is we have some deer, and we have the ability to build a hunting lodge, so maybe it would make sense to build a hunting lodge up here, or maybe even over here. You can see the hunting lodge kind of has a big radius here, so, and if we built it here, it wouldn't make sense because we're going to be living in this lower area, so maybe build it up here. We'll grab those deer down at the bottom and then have the ability to hunt up north above this hill. And that's a problem for later on, though. The first thing I want to do in this first episode is kind of just plop some houses down. Wooden houses are fine for now, and we have, I believe, 5 families. So we'll go ahead and do that. 2 houses there. Let's maybe do actually a third. Why does that look funky? I think the houses have different shapes. I think that's what it is. But I actually want to get rid of this because I didn't build it how I wanted. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Cancel removal. Remove structures. There we go. So I built it with only 1 space, and I think I wanted 2. That kind of looks funky too, doesn't it? Okay, we'll try again. There we go. Much better. So we have 3 houses there. I want to have an area here because I'm guessing what I'm going to do is build a fishing dock here. This is actually a great area for a fishing dock. And as you can see here, actually more moose or deer. I'm not sure what those are. Those actually might be deer, not moose. But yeah, this is actually a nice spot where you could fish and quickly get some nice food. That's actually something I'm going to put down right away as well. Actually, I'm going to wait now that I think about it. Let's get some houses built first. Where could we put the other ones? Maybe right here? How about there? They're a little asymmetrical, but I think that's okay for now. They're nice and close to our storage barn, nice and close to our stockpile, and also nice and close to the water and the things we're working on right now. Now, eventually, yeah, we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to grab some of these materials out here. But that is something we can worry about later on. One thing I'm going to want to do is assign some builders. Since we have 5 houses being built, we actually are going to want to load up. I think we're going to do 7 builders. I want to get these houses built ASAP. And we have materials, so we don't necessarily need a bunch of people laboring and chopping down trees and mining and things like that. So I think we're okay for now. Mining, you only need miners to get iron. You don't need it to get stone. So laborers will get stone. Laborers will cut down trees. I'm going to hit play, and I'm actually going to speed up to 2 times speed. 1 time speed is pretty slow. You can see, I think I mentioned earlier, we're in early spring. The game it's nice enough to not put you straight into winter right away. That's one part of this game that is a little bit scary, I guess, is the winter season. And that's similar to many colonist-based games, colony builder games. winter is tough. It's something you have to plan for. You have to have food. You have to have warmth for the colonists, so you have to have the ability to build fires with firewood. That actually leads me to the next thing I want to build here. I'm kind of jumping around the menus. I'm a little lost when it comes to the menus since I haven't played this in so long, but woodcutter is something we want to build. We need firewood, and we're going to burn through it quickly once these houses are built. So if we build a woodcutter, maybe right back here. To me, it makes sense to put it right next to the stockpile. That's where the wood's going to be, or in the storage barn. So we build the woodcutter here, and you can see we have 2 of 2, 2 of 2, 2 of 2, 1 of 2, 0 of 2. I would kind of like I would like another builder on this one if we could, but it looks like for some reason we can't. But that's okay. This house is just about done, so they should jump over here. Yep, here we go. We got some builders over there now. Excellent. Cool. So we're getting these houses built up, and I think the next thing we will do is get down a where is it here? A fishing dock. The reason I want to do a fishing dock is because this is such a good location for it. We could even go right here. I think this is actually a great spot. We're gonna put it here. Another thing I want to do is build some roads. Even if it's just like a little dirt road. Having this early on will allow us to have the colonists walk much faster and get to where they need to go faster. So it's kind of nice in that way. I'm gonna extend this out to here as well. Maybe even like a path here, like that. I don't know how the pathing works. I think it would make sense that the colonists would take the fastest route, but I don't know if that's true. So if it's faster for them to go off the path, like let's say they're going from this house to here, I'm not sure if they will actually go like that or if they'll go like this. I'm not sure if it takes into account the actual speed. Not really sure, but if I have to, I'll build paths that go across as well. Maybe one like this. All right, so things are starting to come along. You can already see our dipping into our logs here. Firewood, you can see, is at 50 already. And you might be thinking, how did we burn through? I think we had 200, right? How did we burn through 150 already? That's kind of incredible. Not in a good way incredible. But if you look at the houses and go into inventory, you can see they will actually take some of the materials from the storage barn that they need. You can see the hide coats have dwindled down because people are wearing them. But if you look back into the house, you can see they have 25 firewood and they have 177 potatoes. And they'll kind of store those up and keep them there for when they need them. So, and you'll also probably notice, oops, I'm sorry. There are 2 people living in this home here. Elber and Romani. And they have 25 firewood, 177 potatoes. But then you look at this house, and they have 4 people living here. They have 2 builders and 2 children. They have a lot more firewood and a lot more potatoes. It kind of makes sense. But now you'll see we're already down to 500 in storage when we started with 2,000, I think. And we have no firewood left. Our reserve is actually low. So we have our woodcutter here. That's why we built this right away. And we're going to put 1 person to work. That's how you get someone to work. So I'm going to pause it quick. And we actually, one other thing is, keep an eye on this. I'm kind of jumping around. I'm sorry. I'm trying to explain what I'm doing while also keeping track of everything. So I'm going to pause and explain quick. The builders here, you'll see now it says we have 7 of 2. Well, I just clicked it once, so it's 6 of 2. There's only 2 available jobs for builders, and that's most likely here. And that's almost done. So what we can do, knock this back down to 2, add 1 to the woodcutter, and you'll see right now there's no one there. We need someone there, so we now have a woodcutter there. You can also go in here, click here to add a woodcutter. So now we have someone that can woodcut. I'm actually going to do this. And now we have 8 laborers, which we can probably get them to do a lot more work. I think we need to select more. But I think we're getting close to time. It's about 15 minutes in. So what I'm going to do is stop here. We have all 5 houses built. We have our woodcutter built, who's going to be starting to work on cutting up some firewood. We've got some nice paths built. We have our fishing dock almost done. So I think what we're going to do is stop here. We've reached regular spring, not early spring, but regular spring. And we will pick back up in the next episode. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any advice or anything you want to see in this playthrough, please let me know in the comments, and I will try to fit that in. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.